about? No.
Well, we're live now, so
Yeah.
if you want to ask me if we're talking about it, then I guess we're pretty much talking about it.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No.
Oh, what is it?
Well, I can't.
What? No, you can't
We're live now.
You can't tease me like that. You can't be
can't.
like, hey, are we going to talk about, and then just...
They're here. It's embarrassing.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
We're gonna have a great show this week.
Yeah. It might not be the WAN show, but
Yeah.
like somewhere, someone will have a great show this week. I'm looking at the show on my laptop, and it looks so oversaturated. The problem is that we're using a gaming monitor for our color calibration. That's our issue. That's where we're running into trouble here. So first of all,
makes so much sense.
First of all, our camera people came in and cranked a Blackmagic cinema camera to 1600 ISO. So it basically,
in a properly lit room.
my shirt just looked like a bunch of like little bugs crawling around on my shirt because of all the noise.
So much noise.
And then we tried to fix it ourselves, which resulted in the visual feast in front of you today.
It's a very saturated feast.
So that's where we're at on this. All right, what do we got for topics? Is there anything worth listening to, or should people just tune out now?
No, they should definitely stay tuned. There's a couple things that I think will be relatively interesting. The first topic I don't think is that interesting. There's an LG giveaway that we can talk about.
Yeah.
You can get some LG stuff. That's cool.
Actually, you can get a whole gaming / workstation machine. Should we just do that now?
Sure.
Okay. So last chance to enter the Hive Mind PC giveaway sponsored by LG. The winner gets a PC with an estimated value of about $2,000, depending on which parts the audience chose as a whole.
Oh,
So it's like a voting thing.
okay.
You also get an LG 38WK95C monitor, so it's a 38-inch, 3840 by 1600 ultrawide. So we're looking for ideas on how to spice up the build and the stream. So I will be streaming the build of it live,
That's fun.
and then one lucky winner will get exactly that machine. So it's worldwide with no age restriction. How the heck are they doing that?
That doesn't... What?
That doesn't sound like something that big companies with legal departments normally do. So here's a link in the Twitch chat to where you guys can go check out the Gleam.io information about it.
Including Quebec, I guess. Which never happens.
Entries close at midnight Pacific tonight, June 29th, so don't miss it.
Wow.
What else we got?
G-Sync HDR modules at $500 to the monitor price.
G-Sync is expensive. This and more breaking news at 11.
Yeah, I think we already knew G-Sync normal modules were $300, so the fact that the price went up should not be super surprising. Great news. YouTube experiments with custom thumbnails just coming in, saving the day. Thank you again, YouTube.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, YouTube.
That was great.
I actually had a call with YouTube today, and like, out of respect for my partner manager, I won't discuss any of the like specifics of my call because I am very appreciative that YouTube talks to me.
Yeah.
Because they are not always that communicative.
You'd be surprised that that's a relatively new thing.
Yeah, it's amazeballs. But I will say that the tone of the call on my side was very grateful. I'm grateful to YouTube and our Google overlords for making our job at Floatplane Media easier.
So much easier. There's also rumors, because you all know I love rumors, of an i9 9900K. I almost wish they went just for full gold and went i9 9999K.
Well, it'll be over 9,000.
That's fair.
NVIDIA's new NDA requirement to get access to early hardware. Is this a giant scandal, or
my
is it a
goodness.
mountain being made out of a molehill?
Not even a molehill.
More on this at 11.
It's like one speck of dirt.
Nope, at 11.
Okay.
Nope, that's it. I'm rolling the intro. 11.
Did you see this?
I haven't actually.
It's actually like exactly what I wanted to make. Remember I was telling you?
Oh, really?
It's literally it.
Okay. Well, we'll have to check that out then. How do I get into the dashboard? I use Twitch so little
And their settings menus are garbage.
Where's the chat?
I love you, Twitch, but your settings menus are.
I just want
a
to chat.
mess.
Oh, right. Oh, I forgot to. Whoops.
Ah! Way!
Hey! So Luke doesn't technically work here, but you're going to be at LTX, right?
Yeah.
Luke will be at LTX because Luke also technically does do things here sometimes.
Yeah.
So you have a video coming soon.
I do. Like, actually soon now.
And not just like me hosting a video and like pulling Luke into it for like color commentary. Like Luke is hosting the Nintendo Labo video.
The latest possible. No one cares anymore about it. But these are the reasons why people should have cared. Nintendo Labo video.
That's quite a sales pitch. All right, so what
basically the whole internet is wrong about Labo and Nintendo.
Now you're getting back into the clickbait spirit. I knew you had it in you.
Yeah.
So let's jump into our first topic. This was posted by Wanatology, the study of people named Juan, I guess. Wanatology over on the forum. The original article here is from Tech Power Up. NVIDIA's G-Sync HDR module this was just working. You saw me test this.
I actually didn't, but I believe you.
No, Are
you sure you've got it on Luke's?
I know, but that's the one. That was. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in? Yes, I have. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, okay, you're right. Thanks. Bye. Okay. Like half of my calls to tech support ever.
Really?
It's happened. Oh. Maybe not half. I don't call tech support that much.
That's fair.
Okay. But if we're going back to like when I would call tech support as a teenager, if we're talking about ever, I have definitely made my fair share of. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
I must have told you my EVGA call story, right?
Okay, you know what? We're going to get back to this G-Sync HDR module.
Have I told you that one before with the mineral oil computer?
I'm not actually sure. I don't think so.
We'll get through part way, and I'm sure there's people here that haven't heard it. You'll probably remember because I must have told you at some point. The only time I've ever contacted customer support from any computer hardware company ever was EVGA, and one time. I've never had to outside of that. Everything's always worked. Or it's been like clearly my fault because my hand was covered in oil and I dropped a hard drive. That is not Mac Store. That was the brand of the hard drive's fault because it hit the ground. It's my fault. Anyway,
took it and threw it on the. Yeah, okay.
Pretty much.
You know where that's going.
Everyone knows about my mineral oil computer. If you don't, there's videos of it on the channel. You should check it out. It's actually a really funny video in the end. But yeah. When I was building it, I'm like 12 hours into this build, and it's taken me forever. It's the first time I've ever built a mineral computer. I'm doing a lot of things for the first time. It's probably like the low double digits of times I've built a computer at all at this point.
Right.
And I'm trying to build a mineral oil one. I go through a lot of hardships, including realizing that due to the fish rocks that I put in the bottom of the fish tank, my power supply would no longer fit because I did all the sizing based on no fish rocks being there. And it was like really hard to clear a spot for it, blah, 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 blah. So I unscrewed the casing on the power supply, figured out that it was like a wrapped setup. So it was screwed on one side, but it wasn't like two completely separate metal panels. Mm-hmm. So I had to like tear off the metal that was there. And I ended up only having like little like wire cutters. So I was able to just get a tiny little snippet, and then I had to literally rip the metal in half.
I think you might be the king of wrong tools for the job.
Yeah. Anyways, I got it. That's why there's like a jagged edge on one part of that power supply.
Luke needs a condom. Which goes to the dollar store, finds a balloon, and it's like, well, this end looks big enough. Surely the other one will stretch.
Oh my god. But I get the power supply ripped and it fits now, and that power supply still works. Actually, I've used it recently, which is hilarious. It's actually pretty old. I'm really surprised it still works.
Yeah.
Everything fits. I get all the oil in, and I turned it on. I did the old thing. You turn the computer on before you put it in the case,
which is good.
Yeah, I did that, and it worked fine. Then I submerged it, pressed the power button, nothing happened. And I just freaked out because I'm a kid. I don't have enough money to buy these components again.
Right.
No one's going to give me a return on oil-soaked components.
No, they sure won't.
That's not going to happen. So I'm like,
try that sometime. But sorry, carry on.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm freaking out. It's really early in the morning. for whatever, I have an EVGA motherboard.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I was like, I'm going to call EVGA tech support. I don't know why I picked that component.
Yeah, because it could have been anything that was...
I have no
bad.
idea.
Yeah.
I just was like, I need to call someone. And the dude on the phone was like really calm and really patient. I felt like I was calling 911.
Hello, computer enthusiast. Please state your emergency.
And I start trying to explain what's going on. And like, he finally eventually, I don't know if he's heard of mineral cooling before at this point or not, but he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a note to your account saying that like, if we get any components in that have a little oil on it, it's okay. That was nuts. He did that. He actually did that. And then he's like, okay, I want you to go through like taking it out and like reseating some of the components for me. And he stayed on the freaking line the whole time. And I put him on speaker and I reseated a whole bunch of components and I put everything back in and it turned on and worked. That was like the greatest customer support call I've ever had in my entire life.
And it was basically, did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Yeah.
That was where we were going with this. Thank you. That only took about 10 minutes.
But anyway, that was just amazing. I almost never have customer support calls, but that was really fantastic. No one's come close since then.
All right. So let's jump over to this G-Sync news. Basically... PC Per disassembled their ROG Swift PG27UQ because those guys have balls of steel. It's a $2,000 monitor. And they found that the G-Sync module is a newer version than the first generation G-Sync monitors, which I think we've known for like 2 years that new G-Sync, like faster G-Sync, was going to require a new module. Anyway, the exact model of FPGA is an Anyway, 10GX480, which is a high-performance 20-nanometer SoC that provides enough bandwidth and LVDS pins in order to process this huge 4K 144 hertz data stream. It is sold in low quantities for $2,000 for the FPGA alone at DigiKey and Mouser. But assuming that NVIDIA buys thousands, PC Per is suggesting that the price of this chip alone will add $500 to the monitor's BOM cost. It is further increased by the 3 gigabytes of DDR4 memory on the module and the added licensing fees for G-Sync. So if
even just the 3 gigs, like that stuff's expensive right now.
That stuff's really expensive right now. So here's the bizarre thing about G-Sync. Is that from the consumer standpoint, I know a lot of people feel very strongly that NVIDIA should just adopt adaptive sync or FreeSync and just kind of get on board with the rest of the industry. I mean, they are now up against more than just AMD. Like it used to be NVIDIA versus AMD, G-Sync, FreeSync, and AMD had a handful of partners that were rushing FreeSync monitors to market. But now NVIDIA is up against a much larger tide in the industry as a whole. Samsung is going to be supporting FreeSync on upcoming TVs. That, to me, is huge. You combine that with the FreeSync support on the Xbox, and now it's like, whoa, now hold on just a gosh darn minute. Whether you have a PC or whether you have a console, if you want to game on a monitor or on a TV, if you want all of those things and the ability to interconnect all of them, FreeSync is the only solution on the market today.
It's probably going to stay that way.
And a lot of people are assuming that the only reason that NVIDIA would not adopt the industry standard solution is in order to make more money on their licensing. But I'm kind of looking at this going, like, hold on a minute. If there wasn't more to it than that, why would NVIDIA pay somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 for these modules? Why would they hurt the competitiveness of G-Sync monitors available on the market if they didn't have to? And then you go back again and you go, now, okay, well, hold on a second here. G-Sync on notebooks doesn't have this FPGA. So they found a way to do it with the embedded DisplayPort connection But not with the standard. I think we haven't really done a guest in a long time. I think this news merits asking Tom Peterson from NVIDIA to come on the show and explain why the actual ballsack they would spend all this money and lock variable refresh rate down to this proprietary solution if there isn't
and hurt the competitiveness of their
own products.
Yeah.
Because imagine that you're NVIDIA talking to LG or TCL or Samsung. You're talking to a major panel and television manufacturer, and you're going, have I got a deal for you? We're going to have you take your existing scaler. I know it's cheap, but, you're going to throw that away, okay? You're going to take our scaler, which doesn't have all these fancy component inputs that people might need for their legacy devices. It doesn't take 6 HDMIs in. It's pretty basic. We want you to spend $500 on it. Sound good? Why would they do that if they don't have to? Yeah. And then why would they go and put a bunch of RAM on it if they don't have to? So I've used FreeSync. And aside from some of the limitations of the early monitors where the FreeSync range was not very helpful, it didn't go down low enough, I don't personally notice a huge difference. Is this the kind of thing where I have to pull out a phantom camera in order to see the difference in the way the monitors are refreshing? Is that something we should do?
We should talk to Tom, though.
Okay.
If that's something we should do, then sure. But we could get what we should do from him.
Okay. All right. I think giving Tom a chance. I'm going to email him right now. No, I'm emailing him right now. Can you guys come on our show and explain G-Sync?
This is all in the subject line.
Got a lot of our viewers... really, this
body.
is me asking. You guys don't seem that concerned. Got a lot of our viewers wondering why it needs $2,000 FPGA and 3 gigs of RAM.
He's legitimately doing this right now.
Linus, let's throw...
Chat seems to be asking for it right now, to be honest.
Linus. Okay.
Thanks, Linus. So formal.
Yeah, you know what? I'll throw in the thanks every once in a while. I'll throw in the thanks. It was still basically a one-liner.
Yeah.
But it's got a thanks. Tom's a good... I respect Tom a lot, by the way. Tom's
great.
Super cool.
So is the other person included in the email.
Yeah. So if anyone can explain this to me, I think our PR contact gets upset when I go straight to Tom because Tom is not technically PR or marketing or anything. He's not technically an outward-facing position. He's
really good at it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's, I really want to talk to Tom about it because he can put something like, we are spending $500 for lulz into a perspective that might make sense.
Yeah.
Because if there's anything I know about NVIDIA, it's that they don't spend money unnecessarily. All right, let's jump into our next topic here. This was posted by Rubber Puppy on the forum. And I'd like to open this with a statement from the current COO of Floatplane Media. Does Floatplane Media now or intend in the future to alter or disfigure in any way the thumbnail that a creator would upload to the platform for their viewers?
No. Not only does that seem... I'm trying to be PR happy right here. Not only does that seem stupid, just drop the PR happiness.
That's not PR.
But that literally just sounds like unnecessary work, and we have a lot of other stuff to do.
So let's jump over to my screen.
Not only do I not get the point, but it sounds like a bunch of work.
Here's a post from Rayo Alarson Garcia. Oh, wow. I'm not even, forget that I ever tried. Hello, Team YouTube. I would like to know why are not the thumbnails of the videos on my channel? What happens is that all my videos had thumbnails and now they are no longer seen. What a tremendous, tremendous concern to have. This is good. So to YouTube's credit, Now, going back to being appreciative of YouTube for a minute here, to YouTube's credit, they replied.
Yeah.
Thank you, Team YouTube.
That's actually surprising. Good job.
I'm not a super huge fan of their reply. We are running a small experiment where 0.3% of viewers will see an auto-generated thumbnail instead of your custom thumbnail. Okay. We're not removing the ability to create your custom thumbnail. We're just not going to show it to some people. We're doing this to gain insight on auto-generated thumbnails for the future.
Something to consider too is 0.3% sounds automatically like, oh, absolutely tiny amount of people, but it's freaking YouTube. So 0.3% is actually, I have no idea, but I'm assuming in the millions of people. This is actually a lot of people. It's not a lot in comparison to the entire whole of people that use YouTube, but it's a lot of people. There's someone with like a research degree that's going after them super ham for not doing this properly. There's the comments on this Twitter thread are glorious.
I heard back from NVIDIA already. They're
Wow.
saying it doesn't cost $2,000, so that's good. We've confirmed now that they are indeed getting a volume discount, which we assumed before. But I don't have any information other than that. Yeah, we knew that. So I replied saying, well, okay, yes, but we still want to know.
Yeah.
So
just come talk to us about G-Sync, dude.
yeah, they
Doesn't even
should
necessarily have to be that.
They should be happy. Anytime Tom gets in front of people, they like love NVIDIA more, so they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be afraid to put
Just
Tom in front of
come
anyone.
flex your tech, and that can be like part of it, but we can talk about more things.
All right. So there's a couple things here. Number one, I personally am of the mind that 0.3% is not that big of a deal. Even in the context of a channel that gets 2 million views a day, which is where we're kind of sitting these days. We're a little low right now. So hold on.
Per channel, yeah, but I mean users
2
as a
million
whole.
times 0.0.
And that's not, I don't actually think views is the right way to do it.
Okay, they could be whale users. But if it's
No,
if
not
it's a
even
random
that.
distribution.
Not even that, because you're looking at people who it's going to come down to a choice decision. And with how YouTube's algorithm works right now, if they don't click on your video, it might not come back. So you could be getting cut 0.3% of your users because
Okay.
now they're not clicking on it because it looks weird.
So the impact could be hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be 60,000 views a day. It could potentially hit us for, assuming that it's just a one-time thing, which is honestly not the end of the world.
But 60,000 people a day that might not see your video in sub boxes anymore.
I'm over it. But I have deeper concerns. I have
Okay.
other concerns. My other concerns are to do with why are they doing research into auto-generated thumbnails if there isn't some kind of purpose to the experiment? And the only purpose that I can think of to an experiment that goes, hey, what would happen if we just used auto-generated thumbnails instead of user-created thumbnails, is that they are considering using them.
Away. Yeah.
That's the only reason to run this experiment that makes sense to my non-AI algorithmic brain. And
Hey,
so,
question for you. I'm going to almost flip sides a little bit here.
yeah,
Would that be that bad? Right now we have clickbait cancer all over thumbnails.
I'm leaving that up to the audience. So I've actually brought up our dashboard here, and I'm going to screen share with you guys. Let's go ahead and pop up my screen here. All right. So this video right here went up today. High School for Gamers. Actually, this is not our original thumbnail design for it. It originally had me holding up a legitimate esports textbook, which was hilarious, by the way. Esports textbook, amazing. So we've got a few different options here. We've got actually. Do you want a straw poll?
Straw
Create
poll.
a straw
Yeah,
poll,
yeah, yeah. Got
and we
it.
just need a couple options. Do you prefer our custom one, or do you prefer one of the auto-generated thumbnails? So this is High School for Gamers. We've got me standing holding a book in front of a plant. We've got me standing in sort of a dark room. It's hard to see my face. And then we've got me standing outside of a building. And then we've got sort of bigger me with people gaming behind me. Okay, so there's example number one. We're gonna do a few. We're gonna do a few here. Here, let's try this one. This laptop does everything sort of. We've got me holding up laptops. We've got some people sitting around eating what is presumably cake. We've got some people sitting at a table, and we've got actually me holding laptops. Okay, all right. But I'm not gonna lead you guys too much. I want you guys to conclude for me. Let's try do dual CPU sockets matter. This video didn't perform very well, so maybe we would have been better off. You know, I actually don't mind this one. Okay.
What
I mean, this one
do you
sucks.
think
This
the
sucks.
top one that does suck? That's like, yeah, that does suck. Do you think the top one is the one that it would pick though?
I don't know. It might just be one of. It might be like random.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. Why do we need so many servers? Okay, this one. Wow. We would have thought it was a tech-linked episode with Riley, with that one. So that would have been terrible.
Yeah, that's not great.
This is just me in kind of a dark mess. Hard to tell anything. This is just me in the editing den. It's hard to tell. Like, having a picture of the server does seem pretty helpful for this one. Is there any other examples you wanna see? Is anything
Some people in
that
chat are
stands
saying
out to
that
you?
they pick the middle thumbnail, and other people are just keep on saying that it picks the second one, or the second one is the best, blah, blah, blah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Why is everyone buying this monitor? Okay, let's try this one. Sorry, you guys. I know this is taking a little while, but this is live research. Okay, so it managed to grab our end card, so that's not helpful for sure. It managed to grab me standing in the kitchen. I am looking at a monitor though.
Again, the second one's okay though.
But the second one is okay. It's me sitting there with a monitor in front of me. Do you have those straw poll results?
Yeah.
How will I get them?
I'm spamming them in chat, so if you just go to chat.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go check out chat. I'm gonna go grab that and bring it up. Bam! Oh, I missed. Oh, I clicked. Dang it!
I found actually one of the better ways to do it is to put your mouse where it will be, and then wait for chat to bump it, and then click there. I've actually found that works.
Bad solutions for stupid problems. Okay, so even though we did see some pretty good examples in there of thumbnails that actually looked not bad, 80% of you are saying that you would prefer the custom creator thumbnails, at least in our case. And I know that there are some creators out there that are not doing a good job
super abusing
of in good faith creating a thumbnail that is representative of the content.
Yeah.
But still, an 80 to 20% vote here is a pretty overwhelming majority. That looks pretty clear to me that you guys have spoken.
Someone in chat, 80% of chat has bad taste.
Well, moving on then. Actually, we should get our sponsors out of the way.
Yeah.
I believe one of them is LTX 2018.
Oh boy.
LTX is the... Oh, that's weird. Wah, wah. LTX is the interactive meetup and interactive tech event. It'll be on July 14th at the Richmond Olympic Oval here in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. Current booths include a blind cable management competition brought to you by Cable Mod. I want to do that.
I will
take
it was
you
blind. That's actually way more interesting.
A delitting workshop. So bring your CPUs. We will show you how to delid them. Case Toss 2.0, now with more safety. Multi-headed VR. A LAN. 10K Ultrawide Gaming, which, by the way, is curved.
I thought it was 12K.
It was going to be 12K, but then we settled on 3440 by 1440 ultrawides instead of the 4K ones.
Okay.
And I will say that it is a better experience doing it this way.
Okay.
The extra pixels were not contributing much, and the extra size probably would have been unnecessary because it already takes up a
ginormous,
significant port. Have you seen it?
No.
It's actually built.
Oh.
It will be there. Like, it's confirmed now.
Good.
Before, we were just kind of hoping. Corsair, Asus, Vertigear, Cable Mod, BS Mods, FreeGeek, AlphaCool, and iBuyPower will all be at the event with a ton of more brands sending swag. And to give you guys some idea of the swag, NVIDIA has sent 6 Titan X's, 6 1080 Ti's, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're actually thinking...
They won't sponsor us, but they'll give us stuff to give away. That's pretty cool.
Sure. I mean...
They make LTX pretty sweet so far 2 years in a row.
So what we were thinking is, instead of just doing a bunch of draws on the stage, because that kind of took forever and was kind of tedious.
It did.
We're going to make so many things there, like competitions.
Cool.
So like the blind cable management thing. You might win a Titan. So we want to drive participation.
Sweet.
So
yeah, that's cool.
Come hang out. Tickets start at $35 Canadian, and you can check them out at the link below or ltxexpo.com.
There's also going to be custom merch that you can't get other places.
Oh, there's also going to be custom merch, apparently, that you won't be able to get other than at LTX.
I want some.
Wow, that's kind of a dick move.
Well, so the custom merch that you actually can't get anywhere else is LTX merch.
Oh, it's an LTX.
But also...
Oh. We have lanyards too, right?
Yeah, we have lanyards.
Cool.
And then there's also one design that our guy has created that is going to be on sale later, but you can't get it anywhere else, and it's really cool, and it's going to be cheaper at LTX.
Oh, it's going to be cheaper at LTX. Okay, cool.
And more color varieties and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Also sponsoring the show today, Private Internet Access.
PIA.
It supports a variety of VPN protocols, and types of encryption and authentication. It's got IP cloaking, so you can hide your true IP address and geographic location. It allows you to browse anonymously, avoid data mining and target advertising, block unwanted connections, unblock websites, save money, because it's actually really inexpensive, and you can be logged into 5 devices all at once on the same account, and you can check it out at the link below. Private Internet. We need a better vanity URL. Privateinternet.com/pages/Linus Tech Tips with dashes.
Not possible.
Not possible? Oh, all right. So that won't be a thing. Maybe we should just create our own
Not LTT?
Genius link or something.
We could do linustechtips.com/PIA.
Oh yeah, I guess we could do that. All right. Getting back into the news. We actually have a
One more thing.
lot of topics. Oh, what?
LG giveaway thing?
Oh, no,
We
I
already
did
did
that.
it.
We did it right at the beginning.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So we've got some rumors to talk about. This was posted
Hooray.
by Numlock21 on the forum. The original article is from WCCF Tech. And I won't say that I know anything about this because I don't, which is great because it means that I can just talk about the rumors that I've heard. This is probably accurate.
Yeah.
There's a rumored Core i9 coming to Z390. It's rumored to be an 8-core processor with 16 threads, which is absolutely killer because for me,
There's a fly, by the way.
8-core was really the threshold that I bumped into when video encoding, mind you, this was a while ago, it might have improved since then, when video encoding with GPU assistance in Adobe Premiere and Adobe Media Encoder.
Okay.
So if I had a really high-speed 8-core that also had an Intel integrated GPU so I could use QuickSync,
Yeah.
that had the potential to be the best of all worlds.
So you're hoping
And
that's
6 cores wasn't quite enough. So I am really hoping that this will be, apparently they're branding it Core i9. That's, wow, why are they muddying the waters? Why didn't they just make high-end desktop Core i9 and mainstream Core i7 to i3? Like, what are they doing?
I'm excited for mainstream to be 8-core. I think that'll be a really big deal.
Yep.
Once mainstream has been 8-core for 3 years, that'll be really good for software development and game development and stuff. That'll be very nice. My only thing with this is of course. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They could have stuck with 6 cores. I mean, their 6 cores are actually reasonably competitive, even with Ryzen 2.
Oh, I don't necessarily mean about the 9900K, to be fair.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Intel is making more processors.
Oh, I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
The individual details, if they're true, that is interesting, but it's a rumor.
So
Although,
the rumor is
yeah.
that a Core i7 9700K would be 6-core 12-thread, direct replacement for the 8700K,
Yeah.
and the 9600K would be 6-core 6-thread, so direct replacement for the 8600K. What I would expect, and this won't be popular, is that because they are creating a new model number and they're giving it a Core i9 designation, I would expect this to be positioned as a more expensive option.
Yep.
What we've seen over the last 4 or 5 generations now, going from 2600K to 3770K to 4770K to 4790K to 5775C. That was short-lived. To 6700K to 7700K is every generation Intel has bumped the performance by 5 to 10%, and they've put a few bucks on the price.
how much do you think it'll cost?
But basically not much more than adjusting for inflation. I think this time we are going to see the top tier SKU on the mainstream platform cost a significant amount more. I wouldn't be surprised if instead
Even
of...
with Ryzen
Oh yeah.
barking at their tails?
I think so. I don't think that from Intel's perspective, Ryzen challenges the mainstream K chips. Because their positioning of these chips is that they're for gamers.
Even an i9, because those are crazy expensive.
Yes and no. The cheapest i9s, Core i9, let's see, well, that would be what? 70, is there a 78 something K? Can't remember. Oh man, this is a laptop chip. Why do I even bother going to Intel's website when there's Wikipedia? Oh no, okay, yeah, you're right. Core i9 start at $1,000.
That's like not really.
This one won't be like that though. I think this one will be like $100 more.
Oh, okay.
So from
because that's a pretty big shift for them.
Yes.
It kind of actually makes sense, but it's a big shift.
Yep. So I think this will be like $100 more, and I think the justification will be that this is the fastest gaming chip, and it's also a really versatile sort of cheapo workstation chip, because you will get to use the cheaper consumer chipset, which does save you some money.
Yeah.
All right. NVIDIA's new NDA requirements for early hardware. This is posted by Athen Immortal on the forum, and the original article here was from Tech Power Up. So basically, I'm glad we used the Tech Power Up article.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they are pretty much, they went full editorial. Yeah, we don't basically think that that is that big of a deal. It was
This whole situation is very awkward.
Yeah, so German tech application heiss.de, I don't know if I said that right, probably not. They felt that this latest update suggested to them that NVIDIA was mandating positive reviews in order to get access to hardware.
They weren't.
Tech Power Up disagrees. I disagree. I actually hadn't gotten a copy because our NVIDIA contact sent it to Luke, who sat on it for weeks instead of forwarding it to me. I got a follow-up a week after the deadline. Hey, Linus, is anyone from your organization going to sign this?
I never saw...
And then I got your forward after I had sent the signed one back to him already.
I know. If you noticed from the forward, it was not a reply to the original email.
Ah, okay.
I don't think I got the 2-week-old email.
Okay.
And that email was like a day or two old at that point.
So anyway...
It wasn't that bad.
I read through it. Actually, as far as NDAs go, it was pretty plain Jane.
That bad.
It was like 2 pages, didn't have anything terrifying in it. Like, there's some NDAs out there that are scary. Like, we're working on getting this really unique graphics card that actually outputs over Ethernet. Yeah, it's super cool.
Cool.
Their NDA?
Really cool.
Much bigger. NVIDIA's was actually for a company that size in particular. Like, we've worked with some big multinationals in the past, especially on like sponsored projects, and theirs.
You should explain why it's not that big of a deal, because a lot of people read it and still thought it was really bad, probably because they're just not used to reading legalese or NDAs.
Well, it's because the wording that says the recipient shall use confidential information solely for the benefit of NVIDIA means that while the product is NDA'd, you are not supposed to be, say, for example, taking this unreleased graphics card and lending it to your buddy over at AMD so that they can run benchmarks on it, so that they'll know ahead of time what the performance will be.
When the NDA
That's what that means.
When the NDA lifts, the solely for the benefit of NVIDIA thing also lifts.
And besides, the interpretation of solely for the benefit of NVIDIA could be very broadly interpreted. Like, you could say that constructive criticism is for the benefit of NVIDIA. That would be a fairly easy legal defense. Like, it's not nearly as restrictive as it might be made out to be. And like, when NVIDIA does something wrong, like, for example, their GeForce Partner Program.
And
I don't feel like we pulled any
GeForce
punches
Experience.
on that. Luke has made his feelings on GeForce Experience very abundantly clear over the years.
Which, okay, I will take this opportunity to add for them. They've done a huge improvement.
Oh, I never use it.
When you no, I don't use it either. But that's the point I'm talking about.
Oh.
You know how before, if you did Express install, it would just install.
I actually did notice that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's actually super cool.
Yeah, so it doesn't make you install it anymore.
Yeah, thank you. That's actually awesome. I've hammered on them so much about GeForce Experience, so I have to give them the positive kudos at the same time about making it so that there's... Now when you go to the Express stall, it's like Express with GeForce Experience or Express without.
I did notice that.
That's a absolutely, totally acceptable, good enough option.
We've got, how about NVIDIA releasing 1030s with DDR4 memory? That's what you get for buying a 1030. You don't buy low-end graphics cards.
We've made multiple videos about that.
here, let's just low-end graphics
And
card.
Gamers Nexus made a recent one about it too.
All you have to do is Google it. Let me Google that for you. Technically, YouTube is Google. Low-end video cards rant. Are they still terrible? Spoiler, yes. Low-end video card rant and Radeon R7 240 unboxing and review. Spoiler, yes. Where's Gamers Nexus's video?
I think it's pretty new. It's about the 1030 or whatever.
Dang it, Steve!
Which is
Can
probably
you get your freaking SEO? Okay, there you go. Gamers Nexus. Disgrace of a graphics card.
GT 1030 TDR4 is probably that video is probably why that person said that thing in Twitch chat. That is my assumption.
Right. But that's what you get for buying a 1030 instead of a last generation 900 series decent card.
As far as I know, 1030s are for like the person that walks into Best Buy and needs to plug in more monitors
and doesn't know any better. Because the cold hard truth, and I've had people just completely not listen so many times to mine and yours for that matter criticisms of low-end graphics cards saying, well, some people just don't have that much money to spend on a better one. Then buy used.
It's like the whole point of Scrapyard Wars.
A lot of people, like we have had very good experiences with this. If you bring your rig, we'll let you test it. Just test it.
Honestly, a lot of the hardware community, these dudes will even like let you into their house to where their computer is to test it there.
I'm not being some kind of, elitist, oh, well, then you should just spend more on your graphics card. That's not the point.
No.
The point is that brand new garbage is still garbage, whereas used diamonds are still diamonds.
This might be a little slightly scratched up or something.
I'm getting all mad, and I shouldn't let myself get this stressed out about it. It's just stupid.
Someone asked, when is Scrapyard Wars coming?
Oh, 2 weeks.
To Floatplane.
To Floatplane. So it'll be a week after that. We had talked about Floatplane being more ready for prime time by the time Scrapyard Wars comes. Where are we at on that? Can I do a big push? Go sign up for Floatplane. It's going to be amazing. Scrapyard Wars.
I'm hoping so.
Are you guys ready?
We have some cool things coming. There's obviously been some minor shakeup, as you've heard of recently.
Yeah, I know
so
about
we'll have
that.
to see how we react to that. But there is some cool things coming. Notifications are going to be working soon. Some parts of it are already working. But we're not like launching that part yet until all of it's working.
Okay.
Discord integrations and stuff are going to be working soon.
Ooh.
There's some really cool things coming down the pipe. It's just if we can get it done fast enough.
All right, cool. I'm excited. You know what? I should just do it. We are gonna pimp. Look at the look on his face.
So much concern. It's frozen.
Did it freeze?
Why is it frozen?
Why is it frozen? There
Is
it goes.
the stream
we're back,
okay.
baby. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I was just messing with you. Kevsky 802.
I was like, oh god.
Dedicated video on the LTD channel. 20,000 new users overnight. Are you ready?
No.
The original article here is from TechCrunch, and this looks pretty cool. VR gloves. Okay, Luke, go.
Yes. Okay. I've wanted this so bad. Linus has been playing this game. What is the game?
Box VR. Love
Box VR. I train boxing in real life 2 times a week, and I have wanted to do this Box VR thing. But my biggest problem with it is that I don't want to hold the controllers.
Yep.
Because I think that would be really weird. I've gotten very used to boxing with my boxing gloves on, and I've been talking to. I haven't had the time, but I've been talking to him about how I want to get another pair of boxing gloves and mod the Vive controller into the boxing glove. And now these guys have more or less done it for me. I'm sure I can take their design and attach it to a boxing glove super easy.
Very
So
cool.
that's awesome.
So, in a nutshell, they're launching out of Y Combinator's latest class of startups with ambitions to bring a low-cost, flexible glove into users' hands, or onto them, as it were. The Plexus Glove relies on the existing tracking systems of the HTC and Oculus headsets, so the tracking sensors grab the position of where the hands are in space via the magnetically attached tracker. Ooh, magnetic, that sounds bad.
Yep.
I would just super glue it to the magnet, I think.
Yeah.
Or better glue. After calibrating a resting state of the user's fingers, individual sensors communicate their position to the game engine.
Very cool.
Very cool. Velcro straps secure the glove at your palm, and the individual finger controls hook onto the end of your fingertips with motors that offer tactile feedback.
See, this creates a problem for modding into a boxing glove, but I'll probably just ignore that part and just having gloves on and not having to wear or not having to hold the controllers will be good enough.
Plexus is shipping the gloves with toolkits for Unity and Unreal game engines. Developer kits are $249 per pair. Ooh, ouch. Shipping in August.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not cheap.
This is something
That's
that
cool, though.
I've wanted for a long time, believe it or not. I didn't know that I wanted it to be a battle royale, and in fact, I probably didn't want it to be a battle royale. But something that I have wanted for a long time is much, much greater scale multiplayer experiences. Something that I had sort of envisioned a number of years ago. What's that game
You ever play
called?
Savage?
No.
So Savage was let me make sure this is even the right name. Savage game. Savage Battle for New Earth. Was this it? I think this was it. So, did I ever tell you about those LANs I used to run at UVic?
Yeah.
With like the huge amounts of computers across multiple computer labs on multiple floors, all this kind of stuff. We would play Savage because this game supported some crazy amount of players. I don't remember the exact amount of players that it supported, but we could have
Doesn't say.
labs versus labs going on.
Oh, the other 1 to 127 players on the team are field players.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually didn't know this was an actual thing. This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, so this is an old game, but it's a very good like LAN pack. You've got a huge amount of people for some reason. You want to get everyone into the game. And like it was always really fun because if I remember correctly, this was like Redstone. Like Redstone was in this game. So I had Redstone in my head. I think it was called Redstone pre-Minecraft. And you'd have a whole lab. You'd have like the leader of that team or the leader of that lab go like, we need redstone, and then the whole lab's just like, redstone! You see everyone in the game just run over to go get it. It's so much fun. And you have to fight each other, and you like level up, and you spawn in as different things, and it's like this whole combat RTS mix. Like one person on each team is playing an RTS game.
Right.
All the other players are playing like the minions. It's old. It's very old.
Interesting.
But it's fun.
So imagine that with like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's super cool.
So if anyone, I was really into Supreme Commander. That's one of the games that I was most into out of any game. Like I think I was top 500 at one point, which it wasn't a huge community, but I was pretty good at it. Imagine for a moment. Did you ever play Subcom?
I did a little bit.
Okay. So it has large vehicles. Like I forget what they were called, but they were like tier 4 vehicles that were like these huge things where you could potentially man something like that with like 20 or 30 people. So imagine a 1,000 player version of something like Savage with just like kind of, and the way that Subcom had a lot of really cheap swarmy type units.
Yeah.
So imagine a game like that with 500 v 500 with like all these different roles. So you could potentially run around as a Marine, or you could be like a gunner on like this, big land crawler tank thing.
Or being a heli with 3 dudes.
How much of a blast would that
if it was
be?
like local voice and you like had to engage in local voice. So if you're in that giant mammoth tank with 20 people, you've got like the driver like telling what's coming up, telling people to like reload different sides, all this kind of stuff.
You actually have to use like your comms system to talk to anyone that isn't nearby. Like this sounds like a gaming experience that would probably be too hardcore for the Fortnite kids.
Oh, I'd love it though.
But I think it's the kind of thing that could be a completely different level of fun.
One thing I really, really enjoyed, and I know you haven't played this game, but it's called Black Wake. And I was really hoping this was what Microsoft's pirate game was going to be like, but it wasn't really. But I don't even remember what Microsoft's pirate game is called at this point. But in Black Wake, you drop into a new game, and you're on a pirate ship. You're sailing in the ocean, and you have to fight other people's pirate ships. But your captain, like you're in first person view, and you really can't see all that much if you're the one doing things on deck.
Right.
And you have to like get the gunpowder and get the cannonball, and you have to shove the gunpowder in the thing and shove the cannonball in the thing and then load the cannon, and then you can aim it and fire it. So like you can't look where the boat's going. So the captain has to sail the boat, and then like bark out like, I'm lining up for this side, like port side, and everyone's trying to reload the cannons on port side. The captain has to yell out like there's a hole below deck, someone has to run below deck and try to patch it and bail the water out, and all is
So
very
PlanetSide
cool.
2, free-to-play, massively multiplayer, first-person shooter that has the Guinness World Record for the biggest first-person shooter battle with 1,158 players being recorded in a single battle.
I don't
But this doesn't have the RTS element.
Yeah, I don't personally think it captures the same idea. But it is. I've played a bit of PlanetSide 2. It is sort of like that, but I don't think it quite captures the same idea.
Right.
Part of the reason for me is I believe PlanetSide 2 is a persistent battle, like for eversies. It's not a match.
Right.
And I think you can win and lose areas.
It's an MMO. Yeah.
You can win and lose areas, and like there will be an individual battle for an individual place, and if one person wins or loses, then it probably ends and whatnot. But it's not the same type of thing.
All right. Let's see what else we've got for topics here. Oh, right. We didn't even talk about Mavericks. So Mavericks promises, posted by Crunchy Dragon on the forum, original article from pedestrian.tv. Earlier this year, Automation Games revealed Mavericks, claiming its Battle Royale mode can support up to 400 players. Crazier yet, some game modes, the studio says, will facilitate up to 1,000 concurrent players. Okay. Persistent environment means players will leave tracks wherever they go, and you'll be able to drop in and out at any time. The world will continue to exist and evolve whether you're there or not. Neat. And it'll be able to host up to 1,000 players in any given server. Google's game streaming service may have a hardware component. This was originally posted by Master Disaster on the forum. The original article is from Kotaku. So basically, Game Developers Conference in March, Google representatives met with several big game companies to gauge interest in its streaming platform codenamed Yeti. And this is yet another indication that whether you like it or not, cloud gaming is going to be a thing. A lot of people were so mad when I did that video on, what's NVIDIA's called again?
I know what you mean, but yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Shield something. What's it called?
Grid.
No,
Grid.
no, it's not called Grid anymore. NVIDIA. Oh crap! It's not called game. No, cloud gaming. I can't remember what it's called. GeForce Now.
No.
So a lot of people were mad. They were like, "They're gonna have to pry my hardware from my cold dead fingers," and you might be right. But what's gonna happen is cloud gaming is gonna happen, whether you like it or not. And there's gonna be, much like the Xbox has gaming experiences that are simply not available on the PC. There's going to be gaming experiences that are available on cloud gaming that will not be available to those of you with graphics cards in your cold dead fingers. And graphics cards in PCs are also not going away anytime soon, just to be very clear. But I can imagine a scenario where if every player was running off of the same data center effectively, you could actually enable massively multiplayer experiences more easily. So the latency, instead of being between the persistent environment and every individual player, because you'd have effectively like zero latency within the data center, would be between every player and their own connection to the persistent world. I actually foresee a way to create gaming experiences
Different
that
games.
otherwise wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
That's why it will exist. And I hadn't actually thought of that until I said it just now, but there's nothing you can do. This is happening. And it also helps that massive companies like Google are jumping into the fray. It's not just going to be NVIDIA playing by themselves with some smaller startups.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know if I like it or not, but I do think it's going to happen. It might be... I feel like it would be cool if there was like some games, you know how like WoW has a subscription, some MMOs have subscriptions. If you're gonna pay for a subscription anyways, whatever. If it's a game that makes sense to have a subscription for, whatever. But I see it coming to the point where it's like downloading games instead of buying physical copies, where like people are like, oh yeah, it's just easier, so I'm just gonna do it anyways, and then it bites people in the butt later when now they have download caps and games are 100 gigs, and other things start happening.
Yeah, not to mention that multiplayer just goes away once the
Yeah.
game dev doesn't feel like it anymore.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
So Google took meetings at E3 in Los Angeles a few weeks ago. Apparently the company is looking not just to woo game developers to the Yeti service, but to buy development studios entirely. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh boy.
Whispers have been quieter around Google's hardware, whatever that might look like, but the rumors suggest it will link up with the streaming service in some way. It's not clear if they want to compete with the technical specs of like a new gen PlayStation or Xbox, or whether it'll be cheaper and low end, relying on the streaming servers to pull their weight. Dun dun dun.
Google has apparently been on a massive hiring spree, bringing in experienced video game developers and marketers from EA, PlayStation, and other top companies.
Interesting. This was posted by Friendly Non-Murdering Sort on the forum. Thank you for that.
This is super cool. I've used it
Android
already.
messages for web now available for everyone. The original article is from google.com. You can use your computer to chat with your friends through messages for web, which shows what's on your messages mobile app. It's about time messages got some attention, hey? Like, it didn't even have cloud sync until like it just started working for me very recently. I was like, oh, holy crap, my messages are still there when I switch phones. How did this take so long?
And just so you guys know, to get it yourself... Oh, no, this isn't even the right link. Where is it?
Messages for Web sends
There it is.
SMS messages using a connection from your computer to your phone. So carrier fees will apply just like on the mobile app. This is not like iMessage. Okay, it's not data-based still. But once, I keep forgetting what they're calling it. Once the new once chat rolls out, I see no reason why it wouldn't be able to use data.
So if you go to messages.android.com, it will give you the super, super easy instructions on how to sync it. You just click on the triple dot thing in messages. It'll bring up a QR code reader, scan it, you're done. That's about it. And I've used it a fair amount already because I've been coordinating a stag and people that aren't on some other messaging system to be able to write out a massive message with my keyboard and then just copy paste, blah, blah, blah.
Perfect.
Way easier.
You can pair it on multiple devices, but only one will be active at a time. Corsair is acquiring ElGato Gaming. This was posted by Kuikolka on the forum.
I'm hoping that this situation is amazing because I've had a super intense frustration with them for a long time, which is where they only support Windows 10 on their devices.
Right, so you want Corsair to go and invest heavier into wider... I doubt it. But good luck.
What about new devices, though? Because, of course, if they make, like, Stream Deck 2 or, like, some new capture card...
So my hope is actually less to do with capture and more to do with taking Stream Deck
isn't
technology
capture.
and putting it into keyboards. So Corsair's gaming keyboards are already pretty cool, but ElGato has clearly done a lot of work on, remember the Art Lebedev Optimus keyboard from back in the day?
If you guys don't know what that is, look it up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Individual display on every
Like
key.
a $2,000
Full
keyboard or something.
So I would love to see Corsair take that technology and make it actually useful. And Corsair's pretty good at that.
Make the keys more durable so that if you press on them, they don't like ruin the screen below it and stuff like that.
Stuff like that, yeah.
That'd be really cool. Even if they just did it as like a G key area.
Yep. I wouldn't get your hopes up though. I know what you want. I know why you want it. But like Windows 7 is like, it's done, man. It's done.
It's not even that. I use 8.1, but Windows 7 is what I have to use for my sword for my argument because that's where the majority of users are. But someone found, I should have been able to find this, but I didn't. But someone found that there's the like history log of versions. And on one of the versions, the only thing stopping it work from on Windows 7, 8, and 8.1 is a flag that checks if you have the right operating system. So someone made a wrapper that just ignores that flag. And you can just install it on whatever operating system you want, and it works completely fine. It doesn't have, like, if I remember correctly, it doesn't have, like, Twitter video integration or something. And I'm like, wow, I don't care.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm just going to do that, and it'll work on my computer just fine. But
last topic of the day, you'll probably be excited or apprehensive. This is off news.xbox.com, and it was posted by Master Disaster on the forum, which is actually a great, great username. Halo TV series. Set to begin filming in 2019.
is it live action?
Showtime president and CEO David Nevins has announced the network has ordered a 10-episode season based on the Halo game franchise. Kyle Killen, Awake, will serve as executive producer, writer, and showrunner. Rupert Wyatt Rise of the Planet of the Apes will direct multiple episodes and also executive produce the hour-long series, which enters production in early 2019. Okay. So it is not clear to me if it is live action or animated. It's possible that some people know that.
I think a massive, massive mistake was making the Warcraft movie live action. Did you ever see it?
Based on how terrible you told me it was, I didn't bother.
Okay, yeah. But you played Warcraft. You saw the amazing cinematics.
I played Warcraft. Like, not 2.
Yeah.
And not 3.
Did you not play 2 and 3?
Oh, I did play 2 and I did play 3.
Yeah,
I just mean, I was just feeling kind of old. Because you were like, you played Warcraft. And I was like, yes. Yeah, I did.
I played it too, to be fair. I played it many, many, many years later just to see what it was about.
It's not very good.
No, it's actually pretty
It's
rough.
like kind of bad.
Yeah, and the AI is like super, super brutal.
So bad.
But the cinematics in Warcraft have always been amazing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
World of Warcraft cinematics, same idea. Absolutely amazing cinematics.
Yep.
And then we get the movie and it's live action. Like they have, in my opinion, possibly the best cinematics in gaming. There's some argument there with Square Enix stuff.
Enix, yeah.
Square Enix has some really amazing stuff too. In my opinion, it's close or better, but
and it's hard to make that argument because you
they're
have to go
very
back.
different.
You have to go back very far and kind of compare era by era because
Yeah.
they've both done.
in my opinion, it's been them.
They've both done arguably a better job of cinematics than games at multiple points in their histories.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even arguably. It's just like clearly that's way better. And so they're probably kind of depends on which one going together the whole time. Blizzard has been incredible at cinematics, and then they make a live action movie. And I just, every single time that I see a Warcraft or StarCraft or whatever, the Overwatch cinematic from Blizzard, I'm like, holy crap, this is gold. Everything about this is perfect. And then you see live action. It's just, ugh, what are you doing? So I hope Halo is not live action.
There's nothing here about whether it's live action or rendered on the Xbox.com article anyway. Maybe people are telling us in Twitch chat.
Yeah. I haven't seen any in Twitch chat.
All right. So that's pretty much it. Oh, Mickey555 says, I loved the movie and that you are a hater.
You probably just don't know things about Warcraft.
Wow. And on that note, thank you for tuning into the WAN show. We will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Wow. Dang.
It's live action. A whole bunch of people are saying it's live action.
It's live action, all right. And no, I didn't find my cat. Thank you for asking.
Oh.
You are a straight up savage.
Someone else replied, Warcraft made me want to gouge my eyes out.
Wow.
That's a little aggressive.